Hello students, in this video we are going to study about the uses of microbes in human welfare. So let us start. You know that microbes are very diverse. They are categorized in various categories like bacteria, fungi, protozoa, viruses, viroids, prions. Okay, so a large number of microbes, diverse microbes are present around us and they play a very important role in our day-to-day life. Microbes like bacteria and fungi, they can be grown on nutrient media to form colonies, which can be seen by naked eyes. Some microbes cause disease and some are useful to man. Now, about their presence, they are very abundant and they can be found in thermal vents of geysers like in at very high temperature, and they can be found in deep inside the soil and under the snow, and anywhere in the oceans they can be found. Talking about their utility, they are useful in making antibiotics and industrial purposes. They are very useful in industries and sometimes they may cause some disease. Microbes. Now we are discussing about the uses of microbes. So very first, in the household products, in making household products. So very first we have the microbes, microorganisms like lactobacillus that will produce lactic acid and grow in milk and results in the curdling of milk. All of you knows about the curdling, the formation of curd. So this lactic acid bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria, results in the curdling of milk. And during growth, the lactic acid bacteria produces acids that coagulate and digest the milk protein. It also improves the nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. And as you are able to see here, sporolactic pouches, lactic acid pouches, bacillus sachets are also available to cure digestive ailments. They are very important for our stomach. They play a very important role in checking the disease causing microbes. The second example here is of dough. The utility of microbes in dough making for bread or for idli. They make dough by the process of fermentation. The microbes Saccharomyces cerevisiae, that is a baker's yeast, named as baker's yeast, is used to make dough. Toddy, which is a traditional food or traditional drink that can be found in some parts of southern India and made by fermenting sap or from the latex of palm tree. Microbes can also be used in making Swiss cheese, like we have example of Propionibacterium shermanii that can be used in producing large holes or large whole sized Swiss cheese. And Roquefort cheese is a ripened cheese that is produced by growing a fungi on a particular surface or for a particular flavor. Now, what about the uses of microbes in industrial products? They can be used in brewery industry in making beverages. Brewery industry, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, baker's yeast, is used in making malted cereals and fruit juices to produce ethanol. Wine and beer can be produced without distillation by this process, and whiskey, brandy and rum are produced by distillation of this fermented broth. And antibiotics. Antibiotics are the chemical substances that are also produced by some microbes. The very common example that is of penicillin, that was the first antibiotic to be produced by chance when Alexander Fleming, while working on a staphylococcus bacteria, observed a mold growing on unwashed culture plates, and a new strain that is named as Penicillium notatum was found. A new mold of Penicillium notatum was found and resulting in a formation of a antibiotic that is penicillin, which is very much used at the time of World War II as an antibiotic. Chemicals, enzymes and other bioactive molecules like Aspergillus niger produce citric acid, Acetobacter aceti produce acetic acid, Clostridium botulinum produce butyric acid, Lactobacillus produce lactic acid, and one we have Saccharomyces cerevisiae. We have discussed it will result in the formation of ethanol. There are certain enzymes that are also used, that are also prepared from these microorganisms. One is lipase, that is used in laundry detergents. Pectinase and protease are used to clean the juices, to clean the bottled juices. Streptokinase can be used as a clot buster to dissolve the clots. Bioactive molecules are those molecules which can be act as antibiotics or drugs. Like immunosuppressive agent, we have cyclosporin A produced by Trichoderma polysporin fungi, and statins, that is Monoscus purpureus. Monoscus purpureus is a yeast that results in the formation of a cholesterol lowering agent, statins. Microbes in sewage treatment. Sewage treatment involves two type of treatment. One is primary and second is another one is secondary. The primary involves a physical removal of particles, and the secondary involves the use of microbes, aerobic and anaerobic microbes. Here we have the overview of upper view of a sewage treatment plant. Now, during a primary treatment, it involves a physical removal of particles via filtration or sedimentation. In the sequential filtration, we'll remove floating debris, and in sedimentation, soil and small pebbles are removed. All these solids are settled down from the primary sludge, and then supernatant forms the effluent. The effluent is then passed from the primary tank to the secondary tank. Here you are able to see that we have the sieve to purify, to filter the water, to filter the debris, heavy particles. Then it is transferred to this great chamber where the soil or the sand particles will settle down. Then it is passed on to the primary clarifier. In this, the raw sludge will be passed down for the sludge treatment, and the primary effluent will be passed into the aeration tank. In the aeration tank, the aerobic bacteria will utilize oxygen and results in the breakdown of the organic matter, resulting in the decomposition of the organic matter and purification of water. Then we have the secondary treatment. In the secondary treatment, we have the secondary clarifier, resulting in the formation of secondary effluent where the anaerobic digestion takes place. These are termed as anaerobic digesters. So in this way, the purification will take place. Secondary treatment. The primary effluent is passed into the large aeration tanks where the vigorous growth of the aerobic microbes results in the formation of flukes. While growing, these microbes consume major part of the organic matter and they utilize oxygen. So if more oxygen is utilized by the anaerobes or bacteria, then more polluted is the water. So the greater the BOD of water, the more is the polluting power. Once the BOD of the sewage water is reduced significantly, the effluent is passed into the settling tanks where the flukes settle down and can be termed as activated sludge. Now, a part of this sludge is used as an inoculum, and the remaining major part of the sludge is pumped into the large tanks, that is anaerobic sludge digesters. During this digestion, bacteria produce a large number of gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, that are termed as biogases. These are biogas. And in this way, after secondary treatment, the water is released into the rivers and the streams. Now, here you are able to see the whole machinery of the plant and the microbes in the production of biogas. As we have discussed, the biogas is a mixture produced by the microbial activity. It is of methane, hydrogen sulfide. Certain bacteria which grow anaerobically on a cellular material produce methane and carbon dioxide and hydrogen gas. These bacteria are named as methanobacterium. These bacteria are present in the rumen of cattle. A lot of cellulosic material present in the cattle's rumen is digested or break down by the cellulose, and the excreta is commonly termed as gobar is rich in such bacteria, and dung can be used for the generation of biogas commonly called gobar gas plants. So here we have the biogas plant, the infrastructure of a biogas plant. The floating cover, you are able to see the floating cover is placed over the slurry which keep on rising, and gas is produced in the tank due to the microbial action. Then the biogas plant has an outlet. There you are able to see an outlet pipe that is there to supply the biogas to the near house, and the spent slurry is removed through the another outlet which may be used as a fertilizer. The biogas thus produced is used for cooking and lighting. So in this you are able to see that here we have a lid that is a gas holder, and through this pipe the gas can be supplied. And here we have the this is a overflow tank, and this is a mixing tank. Through this mixing tank the inlet pipe will supply the gobar into this, cow dung into this, and digestive tank will digest it, and the outlet will release this overflow tank will release the slurry into this another outlet, and this can be used as a fertilizer in the fields. And through this gas holder the gas can be produced and it is supplied to the homes. Microbes as a biocontrol agents, ladybird beetle and these dragonflies, they are used to control the aphids and the mosquitoes. Now we have trichoderma, baculoviruses and bacillus thuringiensis. As you know that bacillus thuringiensis is used to control the wide range of insects. This is a kind of gene, Bt gene, that is inserted into the Bt cotton. This is a genetically modified comes under the genetically modified crops. And baculoviruses, that is a nucleopolyhedrovirus to attack the insects and other arthropods. And microbes is a biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are the organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. They may include the bacteria, fungi and the cyanobacteria. Bacteria include the rhizobium with root nodules of leguminous plants, and free living includes the azotobacter and the azospirillum. Here we have the certain images to show the rhizobium, azotobacter, blue-green alga, azospirillum and mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is association of the roots of plants with the fungi. Now we have the fungi, that is a symbiosis mycorrhiza with the root system of the glomus that absorb the phosphorus and water from the soil for the plant growth.